Hello.
Hi.
Um, let's see. Your pod members are Nicole and Jennifer, right?
Yes, I think
And
so.
you have not heard from them still.
No, I heard from Nicole yesterday and I
Okay.
emailed her back. But she didn't respond back. So
Okay. Well, I talked to Dr. Stone about it. If she's still not contacted you, since she still hasn't contacted you again today, and she's only contacted you really once,
yeah,
I'll talk to Dr. Stone again and make sure that she really gets on them about it. So you've not heard anything from Jennifer?
no.
Okay. All right. Did Nicole say anything about coming to SI tonight?
No, she didn't.
Okay, well, I will just share my screen and we will just get going then.
Because I wanted to ask the question about the Twitter and the Pinterest. What do we need to do for that?
Okay. So because we were out because of the hurricane, I got behind on social media, so I have to post the videos. I'm going to put videos up of what you need to do.
Okay.
To help you. That way you can look at it anytime you need and you can just get it done as you're ready whenever you get time to do that.
Okay.
Because that I just feel like you guys do better when I do that.
Okay.
Is that right?
Yeah, I do good. Either way.
Yeah.
Because I write it down.
And it also gives me time to really prepare more, and that way I know everything I need to know about it before I tell you guys anything, because I don't want to tell you anything wrong.
Okay.
So, let me get to your page, and we'll look at your week real quick. Also, there are 2 lectures for this week, and other students have told me that she's just added some from last week's lectures and such, and she's just added the templates for Bingo and Jeopardy.
Yeah, she did.
And I haven't been able to view that yet because it just happened. So today I'm not going to do Jeopardy. I'm going to do a video for that, just like for the social media. That way I can explain it once I've had the chance to go through, play with it, and make sure that I remember everything that I need to tell you. Because it has been a while since I've done it myself. So let me...
Yeah, she did add lecture.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. Sorry, give me a minute. I gotta sign you in. No, come on.
So you're gonna do a video for all of that? For the
For all of the social media, I'll make a video explaining how it should look, what you should be putting on it. What is your theme?
I have, since they haven't even I was looking up a theme. I have no idea.
Okay.
Because they're not, communicating with me. And I didn't just want to go ahead without them. But I guess I'm going to have to.
Yeah. Unfortunately, in this situation, I'm letting Dr. Stone know what's happening. But until something gets done about them, then you kind of are on your own with it. But I will help you. Like, if you need help coming up with a theme, I will help you with that.
Okay, well, help me.
I don't have anybody.
With a good theme.
Yeah. I will, let me write that down. I will do a little bit of research onto something good, and I'll give you some examples that you can choose from. Does that work?
Thank you so much.
I don't want you to be all by yourself either, because that would be bad. For pod 4. Okay. Did I mention the attendance form? Because there's an attendance form for this week.
Was it the one about the hurricane?
That one too. That one was for last week's. She probably just added it in, but I don't know, maybe. I didn't look at the attendance form. I just know there is one. But I did look at this week's lectures, though.
Okay, I looked at
But there is an attendance form, so just make sure you look at that. Because right now we're in week 5.
Okay, because I know she did the Jeopardy, the bingo,
yeah,
and the Quizlet.
Yeah. I'm just now getting access to bingo and Jeopardy today.
Okay.
But I'm gonna go through the process of Quizlet with you today.
Okay.
But first, let me tell you what I have done with. On your homepage, you can see my screen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. On your homepage of the Shutterfly, I added 2 different sections for you guys because I just felt like it was getting cluttered, and it's hard to, I mean, I guess if you really read it, it's not really hard to determine what's mine and what's yours. But I just felt like it would be more organized for me to separate my stuff from your projects,
Okay.
And so anything I put up here, any websites or SI videos, they'll be under SI Resources sites. Any files, like I made some questions based off of this week's lectures that I thought would be a good thing for you guys to consider when you're doing your projects.
Okay.
And it could also be used as as a bit of a study guide if you wanted to, because you're going to need to remember these terms.
Okay.
Very important. You're going to have a quiz on it at some point.
Okay.
So this week, basically what we're doing is we're catching up on social media, and then we have to get started on lower order thinking skills and behaviorism.
Okay.
On your homepage, you haven't chosen your theme yet. That's right. Okay, once we get you a theme figured out, you can go ahead and add your sample pictures to the homepage that are related to that theme. So you don't worry about that yet. I'm going to help you figure out a theme.
Okay.
So another thing, remember to always check your grammar. A lot of people have grammar and spelling mistakes on their Weebly or Shutterfly. It's not as much of a big deal in the message board of Shutterfly, but like if your bio and stuff, the introduction about yourself, it's very important to make sure your grammar and spelling are correct. Because, I mean, if you think about it this way, say you were using these, you were going to showcase the technology that you've used in your classrooms as part of your job, and so that you could get a better job. You had a job offer, and you were trying to get that job, and you used this similar to a resume. This is kind of like your resume. You're using this to prove how qualified you are for that job. If your grammar is not correct and you have spelling errors and stuff, they're not going to look at that as credible. They're going to discount it immediately, and they're going to say, this isn't professional, I'm not impressed. You know what I mean? And we want to make sure that everything you do looks great up here, because this is what you're going to need to do in a classroom when you use technology, especially when you have parents and other staff and people involved, because they're going to see this and they're going to automatically know, a student may or may not know that you have grammar mistakes or spelling errors, but other people are going to know, and it doesn't look professional, even if it's not intended to be unprofessional. You know what I mean? So and also, once Dr. Stone goes in and grades it, she's going to tell you what mistakes you've made anyway, so it would be better just to go ahead and get that fixed now rather than later. And that's what I'm here for, to give you feedback on everything, to help you fix your mistake early on. That way you don't get bogged down trying to fix your mistakes and do everything that she's adding on throughout the course. So it's just intended to make your life easier. So, and some tips for checking spelling and grammar. See, because we've learned to read quickly, and also since we know what we've written, we know what we've said, it's easy to miss mistakes because you're reading you don't read one word at a time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You read the whole thing all at once for content. But if you try reading it out loud, can help. Or you can read it backwards, because when you read it backwards, it forces you to slow down. It forces you to look at each and every word. And if something doesn't make sense, your eye's going to focus on what doesn't make sense and say, maybe I should check this. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So those are things that you can do to check to make sure. And it's very important that you do that, because it's going to make your life easier throughout the course if you automatically make sure your grammar's correct. And also, the way you word things, it needs to be consistent.
Okay.
So whenever you use verbs, you might say, describing yourself, you might say, I like to go to the beach, watch Criminal Minds. And if you say, and going on long drives, that's not consistent, because the verbs are not in the same form. You said going, but then you said watch, and you said go. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Because they're not the same. So you say, I like to watch Criminal Minds, I like to go to the beach, and I like to go on long drives. That makes sense. That's correct.
Okay.
So just keep that in mind. And it's not I'm not trying to call you out or anything. It's just, I noticed that a lot of people have been having problems. Their grammar's not necessarily correct all the time. And it's easy to miss things like that. So I just want to let everybody know that you really need to go back and check behind yourself for that. So last week's lecture, Dr. Stone talked about student learning objectives. Have you seen that, and do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I haven't did any of the lectures.
Okay. Well, whenever you get a chance to watch that, and make sure you pay special attention to where she's talking about student learning objectives, because if you've never done a student learning objective before, it can seem really hard at first. So one thing I recommend you do for that is, one, listen to the lecture, listen to the definition and the examples that Dr. Stone gives you. Okay. Then Google some, and that'll help you figure out how to construct one, what it should look like. And whenever you're making a student learning objective, always remember what it is that you're trying to get the student to accomplish through whatever lesson or activity you have planned.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Also, you need one student learning objective for every project. So you need one for Weebly. You need one for Shutterfly, Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter, Quizlet, Jeopardy, Bingo. Every one of them has to have its own student learning objective. Now, you can do your student learning objective depending on which social media or which project you're doing your SLO on. It can either be generalized about the project as a whole, or say Facebook. Dr. Stone has given you a list of requirements for Facebook. Now, you could choose one of those requirements if you think one is really good. So if you assign a fake project to your students on Facebook, if you think that one's really good and you think you could make a really good student learning objective for that one, choose that specifically instead of the whole Facebook in general. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. But then for others, if you can't do, if you don't feel like doing a specific one is in your best interest, then you can do general. Just like Shutterfly as a whole. What is Shutterfly used for? It helps students communicate with each other and collaborate. You could say that. That's general.
Okay.
Facebook, you assign a project that's specific, because it's a specific component out of all the different things that you've done. It's not everything you've done on Facebook all in one.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. This week we need to catch up on our Weebly structure and content, which I'm going to help you out with that, because I've had a lot of questions about that. So I'm going to make a video specifically about that so that you can look at that and hopefully most of your questions will be answered. If not, anything else that you need to ask me, you can ask me through Shutterfly.
Okay.
About it. So I'll make a video telling you what each tab needs to say, what goes on each page, and stuff like that. So this week you are supposed to be making your 20 vocabulary words, which I understand that you have not done that yet because there's not been much communication and you haven't even picked a theme because your group is not communicating properly for whatever reason. And that's okay. But whenever we come up with a theme, you need to get started on your vocabulary words. You need 20, and it needs to relate to your theme, and you're going to put that on Quizlet. You're going to use it for Jeopardy, and you're also going to use it for bingo.
Okay.
But just make sure you go back and look at all the lectures.
I will.
If it's not fresh in your mind, go back and look at them so that you are picking up on everything that I'm talking about right now. Because some of it is from past weeks. So the stuff that you need to keep in mind as you go throughout the course. So, let me look at your weekly real quick and see if I can give you any feedback right now since we're in our, let's see. Yeah, like I said, I would just go back, check for spelling and grammar errors. I would move your picture over here in the area beside your introduction about yourself, and then move your contact info up below your paragraph. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah, because that just makes it balances out the page better. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then your picture, because the background is white and there's lots of colors, I like the picture and I love colors. And so, but you need something a little more like, because your text is probably going to be white. That's going to go over this background. Once I do that video, you'll know what I mean. So you might need to change it to something. It needs to be a simple picture because you don't want it to clash with the words and then take away from your ability to focus on what is said. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, and all this color can be distracting, and plus the background is white and the text is going to be white too. So you're not going to be able to see it good. So I would change that. And then I'll have a video that explains what to do about these tabs up there because you can change those. And then I'll tell you what goes on each of the pages that we're working on right now. And also, once you watch the videos, anytime you want to, you can look at my example Weebly and construct yours based off of similarly to mine.
Okay.
So just remember you have that option. You can look at mine and construct yours similarly. Some people had problems with the buttons or placing things on pages, so I'm going to play with that and figure out what that's about. Because they're saying they're not able to move things and put them, like, balance them properly. Like,
yeah, because I tried to put that picture to the side, but it wouldn't go there.
Okay. I'll play with it. I'll see how I did mine because it has been a while since I've done it. So I got to get that fresh in my mind.
Okay.
Let me write that down. Okay. All right, so now I want you to go to Quizlet.com. We're going to get you signed up for that.
Okay.
Okay, so are you on this? Do you see the same thing that I'm seeing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now you're going to click sign up.
Mm-hmm.
And what you're going to do is put your birthday, put a username, and then use your school email and make up a password.
Okay.
And I'll do this with you so that we're on the same steps and you see that everything that I see. Tell me when you're ready to hit sign up.
Okay. Do I need to put I'm a teacher?
No, you don't have to do that.
Okay.
Just hit sign up.
All righty.
And then it should bring you to a screen where it says add superpowers to your account. And then underneath that it says or continue to free Quizlet. You click on that because it'll ask you to pay otherwise, and we're not paying for anything.
Okay.
Okay, so has it brought you to where it says you can create a study set?
Uh-huh.
Okay, click create a study set.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll show you how to do that. So once you've got your list of vocabulary words, you'll put your theme. I'm just going to put these as an example. This is just random. Then in order to create your study set and save it, you have to add at least 2 terms. So I'm just going to put random letters in here because it's just an example. So you've got my term and my definition. And then underneath it says choose language. In order to save it, you also have to choose a language. So choose English and then choose a language under definition too.
Okay.
And then once you put your second term in definition, then you can create your study set.
Okay.
So you have to have a title, 2 terms, and you have to have your language put in. And then this is what it'll show you once you've done that. It'll show you this only with whatever title. And then this nice box right here will pop up and it has your link. And you will copy that link and put it in Shutterfly just as you've done for Weebly and for Facebook and all of that.
Okay.
And anytime that once you copy this link and put it in Shutterfly, whenever you make changes on your set, you do not have to put a new link. The link updates itself.
Okay.
So anytime you make changes, it'll update, and you can click on the same link, and it'll take you, and you can see everything you've done.
Okay.
And so you only have to start with 2 terms, but so that way you can save it and you can go as you get time, or you could do it all at once. Oh, I do need to show you one more thing. It only gives you a certain amount of terms at first. So you have to go to the bottom, scroll to the bottom and say add card. And that gives you a new one. And it looks like that.
Okay.
So anytime you need to. You can also add pictures to go along with your definition. You can add audio. Those aren't required, but you can do it.
Okay.
And then once you hit done, it saves it again. And then it gives you options. You can do flashcard mode, which you can study flashcards. There's learn, write, spell. There's the testing mode. And you can play a matching game. Gravity, we never used that. I'm not sure what that is, but I think it's a game that you can play.
Okay.
And then you're on flashcard mode right now. You can flip it to see your definition.
Okay.
And then it tells you down here how many terms are in there. You can add or remove. You can hit full screen for flashcards and all that neat stuff.
Okay.
Also, what's good about Quizlet is you can even use this for your college classes. So if you have a class and you want to study definitions, say you're taking sociology, and you want to study terms for sociology, and you don't want to have to write them down or whatever, because a lot of us, sometimes we can be lazy, and that's just honest, and sometimes we just want to look something up and study it like that because it's easier. Yeah. So you can hit the search bar. Yeah, and you can do that. So you search sociology, and it gives you a whole bunch of sets. You can use it for your own studying, not just for your students. So that's a good thing. And do you have any questions about Quizlet?
No, because I use Quizlet.
Awesome. That's good. That's good. And then if you come over here, it shows you your study sets and all of that. So let's see. Like I said, we're going to do Jeopardy and Bingo as well. But I have to...
Tell me again, what did you say to go to get the link?
Okay. So whenever you create your set, it will, once you put in at least 2 terms and change the language and you have a title for it, you hit create, and then it saves it and it gives you a link.
Okay. Once I do create. Okay.
Yeah. Do you see what I'm talking about? Did you get the link?
No, I didn't see the link.
Okay.
Let me do my Quizlet down.
If you've already created a set, because that might be, did you already create a set?
No, I haven't, because we don't have the thing.
Okay, well, say you create a set and you accidentally X out of the link and it doesn't show back up. Once you get to that place where you can see flashcards, all the different modes that you can play games and study from, it gives you the ... symbol, and you can scroll down that, and it says embed or export or copy, or let's see, what does that do? No, that's not what I was trying to do. Go back. There we go. So you're going to probably want to hit embed.
Yeah. Okay.
And you can also share this to your Facebook page.
Okay.
Let's see, what does this do? No. Yeah. But does everything for this make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, just remember, once you get your theme, you need 20 vocabulary words.
Mm-hmm.
You need to start on your student learning objectives for every project. Once I post the videos, we need to get caught up on social media and stuff so that we can get started on lower order thinking skills in Weebly. And just remember that we're going to be doing Jeopardy and Bingo too.
Okay.
And for this week's lecture, some of the things you should keep in mind are learning styles. Whenever she mentions that in the lecture, you should take note of what she says. Learning styles, behaviorism, lower order thinking skills. If you go back to the other lectures and she talks about student learning objectives, take note of that. Take note of what a student learning objective is, how one should be constructed or how it should look. And always remember when you're making one, what is the result you're trying to achieve or trying to get your students to achieve for whatever lesson or activity your SLO is about. So what are you trying to have your students accomplish, or what skill are you trying to get them to be able to master?
That's kind of like what I do on my lesson plans for a class I'm in.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's about all I have. Do you have any questions?
Now, when do you think we can have the theme so I can start working on the vocabulary words? I know she said all of our assignments wasn't due until October the 7th.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm taking
So
another class, so.
if I can't come up with a list of those tonight, tomorrow I will be able to, because tomorrow's Thursday. I don't have, my class schedule is very light on Thursdays.
Okay.
So I will work on that. Let me
Okay.
write that down. Theme. I have your theme. Okay, yeah. I have it written down. All right.
So I need to work on, I'm going to be doing my lectures, but you said you was going to post the videos for Twitter and Pinterest.
Mm-hmm.
And once I do my, just watch the lecture videos and stuff, and then once you put that up there, start working on Quizlet and add my link to Shutterfly.
Yeah.
And do my Twitter and my and work on Quizlet, Jeopardy, and Bingo once you post the videos.
Yes.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
All righty. Maybe my members, I don't know.
Yep. I hope they get on board. See, since we haven't heard from Jennifer, I'm not sure if she just dropped the course or what's going on with that. But we know that Nicole is still here.
Yeah, because she told me, well, all you have to do, because when I typed you the question what we needed to do for Pinterest and Twitter, because that was the first time I ever seen it, she sent me an email saying, oh, all you got to do is set up an account. So I emailed her back, but then she never responded or said anything else. She's like, I think I'm one of your members.
Here, have you already set up your Pinterest account?
No.
Okay, well, let me see if I can go through it right now, because my pod member, when we did that, we split each of them up. All the ones that were going to be group instead of each of us individually doing it. We split those up, and she did Pinterest and Twitter. I did Facebook and Snapchat, because at that time we were using Snapchat too. So let me go and see if I can make an account, because I don't already have one. So let me see how that works. And I'll go through the process with you right now before we get off. Okay. Welcome to Pinterest. You put your email, create a password, and put your age.
Mm-hmm.
So, once again, I would use your school email. That way, if you ever wanted to make a Pinterest for your classroom itself, you don't have to, it's not linked to your personal email already, and you have to go in and delete things that we did in the class or whatever. So are you on Pinterest, the sign up page?
Yeah, I'm trying to log out of my personal one.
Okay.
How do I log out of it? Let me see.
You have a personal Pinterest?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
I got it. I logged out.
You could do it from that, but you probably won't want to, so I would make another one.
Yeah, I am. EDU. Continue. Okay. English, United States. Okay, it's asking about the last step is tell us what you're interested in.
Okay, for some reason I'm not seeing what you're seeing. Did you already do email, password, and age?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me hit continue. Yeah, just let me know when you complete each step. That way I know where you're at. I don't
I'm
want to jump ahead
sorry.
of you or stay behind. It's okay. Okay, yeah, I see where you were at. Please load. English, yes, that's right. Next. Okay, and so is there education up
I
here?
didn't see it.
5 or more. I might do art. I would click art. Maybe crafts.
You said what?
I'd pick art and crafts, and because it asks you to pick at least 5.
What about Easy Crafts?
Easy crafts. Where's that at?
Hold on, which crafts did you pick? Just the blank one, the plain one? Crafts. Let me see.
Let me see.
I don't see it.
Okay, I see what you're talking about. Easy crafts. Easy do it yourself, I guess. We could do that. Maybe books. We'll do that.
Books.
And then I think, yeah. So I picked art. I picked crafts. I picked crafts, easy do it yourself or DIY, and then books. And now I'm going to hit done.
Hold on, let me see. Books. I don't see books.
Books is, it's right, it should be right below easy crafts. It's underneath cheer.
Okay, I see it.
There you go. Do you have 5?
I got one more.
Okay.
Okay. Hit done?
Yep. So maybe you could do kindergarten classroom. I would look that up. You could look up themes up here and pick a theme based off of that, actually. Yeah, show it. And you can, let's see. And you can save them. So if you like an idea or something, you can save that photo, or say you see a craft that would go with whatever theme we end up choosing for your pod. And if you see a craft that would relate to that well, or you search one and find one, you can hit save and it'll pin it.
Okay.
So let me save this one and see where it is. Where do you want to save this? Let's say classroom rules. And name your board. Okay. See, this takes me to a place that has classroom rules. Things, okay, why is something going wrong? Goodness. Yeah. And so it has all this different stuff up here. I'm going to have to play with this one too to really understand it more, because this was not the one that I worked on a lot. So I'm not a professional at this by any means, but I can get to that point. And if you have any questions for me regarding Pinterest, don't, you know, don't hesitate to ask me. Whatever it is, I'll figure it out.
Okay.
If I don't already know it, I will figure it out so that I can help you.
So that's all we had to really do for right now, was just set it up.
Yeah, and then once we pick your theme, you can search things based off of that theme and save them. And
Okay.
you'll be able to create little groups for things like that. I just haven't figured out how to do that. But I'm sure I know people who know how to do it, so I will find somebody who knows how to work this and figure it out for you guys so that I can help you better.
Okay.
All right. Well, do you have any other questions?
No, that's it.
All right.
I'm gonna try to work on my Weebly to move that picture and stuff. Maybe it'll move this time. I don't know.
It may be how big your text box is, because if you can change the size of the text box, if the text box is taking up that whole side, that might be the problem.
Okay.
But I'm not sure. If that's not the problem, let me know, and I'll keep playing. If you figure out how to solve that problem, let me know so that I can tell other people, because other people have had the same problem.
Okay, with Twitter, is that all we have to do too? Is just set up an account?
Yeah. Have you done that?
No.
Okay. Do you want to go through that right now?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. Well, you'll do that now.
It'll be less time. I'll have to try to remember and keep looking at.
Just make sure that you're writing down your usernames and passwords. So we're going to click.
Yeah, I use the same username and password.
That's good. That's good. So are you on the same page as me now?
Sign up.
Yeah. And so it wants a name. I'm just going to put my middle name because I probably already have one. I'm going to ask your phone number. Oh, well, actually, you can use email instead if you don't want to use your phone. It gives you that option. So I would click email.
I would use email.
Yeah. And password. And then you can pick a profile picture, but you can skip that. You don't need to do it right now. When you do a profile picture, I would choose one related to your theme once we choose that.
Okay.
And whenever I make a video about this, I will say that again. So I'll remind you. So we can skip that. What are you interested in? We can say education. Educational would be better. Kindergarten would be a good thing to put. Classroom. So yeah, anything that you are interested in or you think would help you with this, that's something that you can do. So then we can hit next whenever you're ready.
Alrighty.
And then it gives you suggestions to follow.
Mm-hmm.
You can do, there's a spelling classroom right here. I found that. I'm going to follow that.
Hold on, let me see. Spelling classroom. Okay, I see it.
And then I guess I'll just follow a few things. Yeah, and I'll just hit follow too. You can let it allow notifications or you can skip it. And then it'll send you a confirmation email.
Okay.
So are you on the same page as me, basically?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so where it says what's happening, that's kind of like on Facebook. You can post something. So you might post something on Twitter similar to what you might post on Facebook. You might ask them to do something. So whatever your theme is, let's say your theme is the same as mine. For as an example, mine was around the world. So when we were focusing on China, we said, okay, students, find an educational video related to that relates to China and what we've been talking about in class and post it on Twitter or something, you know.
Okay.
Something like that. But Dr. Stone has guidelines for you for specifically for Facebook and Twitter.
Okay.
And so you can get messages, there's notifications. I don't know what moments are, but let's look at that and see. I guess these are just the trending things right now. And you have your home page. This is what you see. This is kind of like your Facebook page. This is like your news feed or something similar to that.
Okay.
You can search Twitter, say, I don't know, classroom, book a day. Here we go, book a day, classroom management. We can click classroom management, and it'll show you what people have put on Twitter regarding to that. And you'll see posts by different people regarding classroom management.
Okay.
So that's how you search topics.
All right.
And you can find news, you can find videos, you can find photos, all kinds of stuff. And then tweet, that allows you to tweet about classroom management. I guess whatever you search is what it's going to want you to tweet on.
Okay.
So since you're on classroom management, right now you're looking at at all those things people have put about classroom management. If you hit tweet, it's gonna like give you the option to say something about classroom management or to add something. So that's what it means when you hit tweet.
Okay.
Yeah, so I would just play around with it, get familiar with it, which is what I'm gonna have to do too. Pinterest and Twitter.
Yeah, me too.
Because I don't even use those in my personal time, so I understand how some of you guys feel when you've never used it if you haven't used it before. Because honestly, for personal use, I don't really use Pinterest. I know people who swear by it.
I use it for ideas, but that's it.
But I've never really got into Twitter and Pinterest.
Me neither. I never did Twitter, so.
But I can learn it so that I can help you guys out. And that would help me out too. So, any more questions?
No, that's it. I'll just wait for when you post the videos. And that's it. Yeah.
All right. Well, how did you do throughout the hurricane?
I did good. How about you?
Yeah, I was all right. I lost internet first because where I live, anytime it rains, you lose internet.
Oh, Lord.
And it rained the whole week. But then we lost power too.
I lost power for like 2 days.
Yeah.
And then after that, I was without internet for probably 3 days before they fixed it. But other than that.
Well, it's good that that's the only thing that happened.
Yes.
I'm glad you didn't have a lot of damage or lose your home or anything.
No.
Because, I mean, that really changes everything when
it
things
does.
like that happen to you. But I'm glad that everything turned out all right for you and everything's going to get back to normal, hopefully.
Yeah, it is. It's getting back to normal.
Well, I guess we can leave it on that note, and I hope you have a wonderful night.
Same to you.
And I hope you don't have a lot of trouble with anything, but if you do, just let me know.
Alrighty. And you gonna email me, you gonna do the theme in what, Shutterfly?
The videos?
No. The theme that we're gonna work on.
Oh, the theme. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
I will come up with a list of examples and then you can pick whatever one you want.
Okay, I'll be looking for it and I'll be looking for your videos.
Probably since the theme is such an important thing for you to have right now, I'll have it by tomorrow.
Alrighty. We'll talk to you later.
Okay, I'll see you later.
Alrighty. Have a good one.
You too.